Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you how to make this really pretty Oceans Locket with the June Sophie and Toffee's Elves Box. If you want to learn more about the subscription box, the link will be down in the description. So let's get into this. First we're going to put a thin layer of the resin down in the mold, and then a few drops of the iridescent dye. We're going to spread it around with a toothpick to make an even layer all along the mold. We're just trying to make sure that there's no bubbles and that all the resin gets to all the sides of the locket piece. That way that it makes a full seal and there's no holes in the top. We're then going to dip our toothpick into some of these little blue beads to simulate a watery effect. And if you just get a little bit of resin on your toothpick, they'll attach really easily, so it's really simple to get onto your toothpick. Don't use your fingers for this because it's really hard to get a hold of these little beads. If you've tried already, you should know. And we're going to just keep layering those until you cure that layer. We're then going to set a few more on top of that layer that you cured. Next, take some chalk pastel of any color blue you want and scrape a little off with your toothpick. You don't need a blade for this, you can just use the rugged edge of the toothpick and that should get a little bit of the pigment off. You don't need much for this since the mold is so small. So just gently rub it against the chalk and it'll all come off. Take some of your resin and pour it on top. You only need a few drops for this. And then mix the color or pigment into the resin. And if it comes out a little flaky, you don't really have to worry about that because we're not going to see that. After you cure that layer, add another layer of the pure resin and spread that over top to mix with the other layers. Make sure that you get it on the edges and spread it out evenly so you don't have any air gaps or bubbles that might ruin your piece in the end product. Next, you're going to put a few more of the little blue bubbles on top to help the watery effect, and put some gems in there as well, some little ones, as well as one big one if you want. You can do pretty much whatever you'd like at this point because that's going to be covered up. After that layer has cured, add another layer. Put a few drops of your iridescent dye in. Mix that with a toothpick and spread it around. And if you need to add more, go ahead and add more for a more white or pure effect. And then take tiny drops of clear resin and drop it on top. This will give like a watery effect to make it look like more of an ocean theme. It brings out a lot of depth in the piece as well so that it can simulate more of an ocean, and it will bring out more vibrance in the piece and a lot more detail and, again, depth. It should look similar to this when you're done. We're now going to place some of our little embellishments and pearls into the resin while it's uncured. And then you're going to cure that and then take it out. And for the other shell, you're going to pretty much do the same thing. So you're going to create a small layer and then the white iridescent. Mix that up. Make sure that you're getting that evenly throughout the shell. Put in a few of your gemstones or whatever you would like to put in at this point. And you're going to put in some of the powder again and mix that. But this time you're going to use purple on top of the blue, and this is going to create an ombre effect. Just continue the steps that you saw earlier. Mix the colors together. Take a pink for the very top. Put some resin down, and blend that down into the rest of the resin. Once more blended, it should look similar to this. Then add some more of those blue bubbles for the top. Add some gemstones and more bubbles if you would like. Put another layer of resin on top. Put more of that iridescent dye. And we're going to create that water effect once again with this side. It should look similar to mine. Cure that layer and then add some more details like shells and embellishments if you want. And then cure that layer and pop it out. It should look similar to mine. Next, you're going to combine the two pieces, add a bit of resin to the pieces. Use your lamp that you got to put over it and put more resin on top to hold the pieces in place. And then your locket part is done, and it should be able to open and close. If you didn't make it to where it opens and closes, that's okay, that's your choice. Put a little bit of resin on the outer side of these shells and line up half of the chain that you get in the box and fully cover the pieces. Remember, we're just lining the outside edge of the piece. Then when you're done with the inside, do the bail on the back. And then when you're done, it should look similar to this. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this tutorial helped you. See you guys later. All links will be in the description for my Patreon and my Instagram, so go check it out. Subscribe!